Hey, good morning, everybody. It is Nafissa here from Living Forward. Give me 2 seconds. I'm just going to share this broadcast into my Facebook group, and I will be right with you. We are on day 4 of our broadcasting with our theme about mindsets that block money flow. And today's a quick one, but it's a really important topic because it's one that it comes up all the time. I sometimes even think it and have to catch myself, but it's a very important one. And I know that, hold on, we just got to post this here. This will really help you today. So we've got this in the right group. Perfect. Okay, so I'm Nafissa Shireen. I'm the host of Living Forward TV, and I'm also the founder of Living Forward Business and Lifestyles. I'm a success coach to entrepreneurs who want to make quantum leaps in their income so that they can have true success after the 9 to 5. I would love to know who you are and where you're from. So let me know whether you're here live or on replay, just what your name is, what your business is, where you're watching in from today, and go ahead and leave your Facebook page below because I'd love to come and follow you and learn a little bit about your business. And make sure to ask any questions that come up as you go along, and I'm going to come back and engage with you. And if you're here on replay, don't be a lurker. Let me know that you're here so that I can come back and talk to you. Now, good morning, Veronica. I have the comments in front of me. My camera's up there, my computer's down here. So if I'm looking down here, it's because I'm trying to keep up with the comments. I'm not very good at manning both the camera and the comments. So if I don't catch you live, I will definitely come back later and make sure to catch you afterwards. So just say leave a comment, let's talk, let's engage. So this month I've been talking to you all about mindsets that block money flow. And this is such an important topic because, there's so many step-by-step formulas out there on how to make money. And some of them work, some of them don't work, some of them work for other people and they maybe don't work for you. And the reason for that is not because there's anything wrong with what the formula is. It may be the wrong one for your business. Now that's a practical application, but it doesn't matter how good a plan or strategy is for your business if you're too afraid to implement it or if your thoughts get in the way, because really it's your thoughts 100% of the time. When you can't create something for yourself that you want, it's because your thinking is getting in the way. Here's the thing, it is not possible for you, and this is like universal truth, universal law, that if you have a desire for something, the way to get it already exists. It exists and it's right in front of you. You just can't see it. And the reason you can't see it is because of what's going on in your thinking. And there's all kinds of thought processes that really get in the way of creating the money we want and creating the life we want. Because really, money's not about money itself, right? It's about creating more life. It's about creating that lifestyle that we want, that freedom that we want, all the things that we want for our family. And so getting our thinking straight and being very aware of the day-to-day mindsets and little things that come up that stop us from taking action without us even realizing it. And a lot of times it's disguised as practicality. I need to be practical. And I'm not saying be irresponsible, but we got to be very careful about some of these practical mindsets, because what they do, it's not so much that they stop you from taking action. They absolutely stop you from taking action. But more than anything than that is they shut down your thinking, because you think something can't be done, and then instead of going into solution mode to look for a way that you can make this happen in a way that works and is empowering and is, doesn't put you in financial jeopardy, you've just shut that down. So the last few broadcasts, we've talked about the mindset of it's not about the money. We've talked about the mindset of shrinking back, right? And I can't remember what the other one was, but today we're talking, it was about making decisions from where you are. I think that's a really important one. It was 2 broadcasts ago where I talked about when you make your daily decisions from where you are, from what time of the day you get up to how you set boundaries with clients, from the state of your business now, you're not going to grow it. So that's a really important one. If you haven't watched it, go back to last Thursday, just scroll down the page and have a watch on that one. I give you a really cool exercise. Now, today the mindset that we're talking about is the mindset of either or. That is such a crippling mindset to money flow. When you think that you can either do this or do that, you're standing in front of yourself and looking at 2 specific choices that you might have for yourself and for your business. And if you're thinking that, I can't do both. Okay, sorry, that's my dog coughing. She's got congestive heart failure, so she has the most horrible cough, but she's plugging along. And so we let her go. We just let her do her thing and don't restrain her because she doesn't have much longer. She's 14. So pardon me for that noise. Anyway, let's get back to the topic at hand. When you are looking at a choice in your life, and you might sometimes think that I can't afford this, or should I do this or this? That gets back to what we talked about on Tuesday about restrictive thinking, right? Either or is a mindset that will block your money flow, because it's a mindset that you're saying you're believing in your limits. You're believing in the fact that you're not going to be able to do both. And if you're believing that and you shut down the process and then you think it is either or, what ends up happening is your mind, your brain, your subconscious mind, and what you put out into the universe, the thoughts that vibrate out of you, are closing down. They're not looking for a way to make both happen. Like, I'll give you an example, so we're looking at, there's two things we want to do this year, two really big things in our home, in our lives. This has nothing to do with business. One of them is I want to buy a property so that I can build a facility for my horses and also have a horse facility there for other people. And the other thing we want to do is to upgrade our boat. Those are two really, really big decisions, right? And if I were to step into practicality, well, the couple of things would happen. The practicality might say I can't afford any of it, which isn't true. Or the practicality would say, let's figure out how to do one of them, because we can't possibly do both of them because there's financing involved in both aspects. And it's impossible to make those two big purchases in 1 year. Now, that is really restrictive thinking. However, there is a practical side to that, right? It might be that there is only so much funding, or if you're dealing with banks and lenders, they're not going to lend you for both, right? There are those external pieces around it, or you might look at the income that we have or the cash in the bank and think, well, do I want to spend all this, or do I have enough? So there is that practical side of it. However, if you're looking at it from a perspective of I can only do one or the other, you're shutting it down. So how we like to look at things is to say, well, I actually don't know how to do this. See, that's a different thing than saying I can't afford it. Like, I don't know how to do this. When you start with that mindset of I don't know how to do this, you're already changing how you're thinking. You're already telling your subconscious mind, you're already putting the message out into the universe that you maybe don't know how to do it, but you know it's possible. So in situations like that, where I like to go is to say, well, okay, so out of these two, which one would I like to have first? Because you see, if you can figure out now, and out of those two things, I actually know how to make one of them happen tomorrow. The other one, I kind of know what's involved, and from what I know right now, I don't see how to make it happen tomorrow, but I know the steps I need to take to make it happen. Thing is, the one that I would like to happen first is not the one that I know how to make happen tomorrow. Okay? So in that aspect, I'm getting my priorities clear, going, well, what I want to happen first is this. So when you go from that perspective and you think, okay, well, these are two choices in front of me, I now know that it doesn't matter that the one I know how to make happen isn't the one I want to make happen first. I'll figure out how to make the one I want happen. And then once you figure that out, it's done, it's figured out. Then you move on to the other thing. And you will figure it out. But when you shut your thinking down by saying, I can't afford both, then you do put yourself in that position of either or. So let's take this down to a granular level on your business and how that could affect your money flow. Like on a personal purchase, it does affect your money flow because, our business creates money for us to have in our personal lives, right? So if you're shutting that down, you're not going to be taking certain actions in your business. So if you were to think about something in your business, let's say, I need a mentor and I need a new team member. And I can't afford both because they're both a similar investment, and I just don't have that money right now. Now, you may, practically speaking, not have the cash right in front of you, and maybe you don't have access to the credit or borrowing you need to make that happen. Now, we're going to talk on Tuesday about the mindset of not wanting to borrow for your business. I'm very much against getting yourself into ridiculous amounts of debt for no reason. However, when it comes to your business, if you have a plan, if you have the means, if you have the will, then borrowed money is a tool that can really help you make a lot of money. But a lot of entrepreneurs don't use it properly. They use it emotionally, and they either don't use it or they get themselves into trouble because they don't do it strategically. So we're going to talk about that next Tuesday. But today, so let's just assume that it's a given that you've either don't have the cash or you don't have the credit available to do one or the other. So what the mindset that would block your money flow is to say, well, I can only do one, and then you just pick one. The mindset I encourage you to have is to say, well, out of these two, which one do I want right now? And which one will help me get the other one? Now, obviously, in this example, I'm going to say you pick the mentoring first, because your mentor is going to help you see other ways to create more income that will help you get that team member. Right? Because if you're hiring a team member, you're hiring somebody that you need to lead, that you're going to give tasks to. They may not be able to help you or show you or open up your awareness. Now, some of them can, you know. I have an awesome operations manager who has no qualms, like giving me a cold slap across the face when I'm off in my stuff. And I so appreciate that, right? But on a general note, though, you know, if you're looking at it from that aspect, you would say, okay, well then let me get the mentor first. And then once I do that, I will figure out how to get the team member. So you see, you're not going into either or, you're going into and. How do I do both? You know, you might be thinking, how do I pay off my bills and get what I need for my business, right? Not should I pay my bills or should I get a new computer for my business? The question you ask yourself is, all right, what is more important? Now, paying off debt's an important thing, but if your computer's breaking down all the time and you're not able to generate money, it's not going to matter. Paying that off isn't going to help you in any way, shape, or form. You're going to be broke. So the right thing is to think, okay, how can I do both? All right, what's the order that this needs to work in? So do you see what I'm saying here? It's all about thinking, and this isn't about taking irresponsible action. It's about opening your thought process to solution mode and get your mind thinking, how can I? Because we talked about this on Tuesday. When you say I can't, it's done. It's over. You actually can't. It's truth. I mean, anytime somebody tells me they can't do something, I believe them, because until they say I can and they're willing to believe they can, they're not going to do it. Now, do I believe it's possible? When they say they can't, it doesn't mean I don't believe it's impossible for them. Because anything that comes into your mind as a desire is possible for you. But if you believe you can't, then it's not going to happen. So there's a big difference between not that you can't do something or not being able to do something, and something not being possible for you. Something not being possible for you is something you wouldn't even think of or dream about or even come into your consciousness, because it would not be possible for you. Not being able to do something is a choice. It's because you've shut your thinking down and you've decided to come from your smaller place instead of your bigger place. Now, again, I want to emphasize, this is not about just going and throwing money out and getting yourselves into all kinds of debt. That is counterproductive. This is about a thought process, right? And it's really interesting. Like, I'll talk to clients or I'll talk to people and they'll say, I can't afford that. And I will challenge anytime somebody says that. And I'll say, well, how can you afford that? What do you need to do? Now, sometimes my clients might get a little upset with that, because they'll say, no, I can't afford it. But I'm telling you, if you're a client of mine, I will never believe your story, right? And this is something that my mastery clients find out all the time. I will push and challenge them. And the interesting thing is, when you push that, well, how can you afford it? How can you afford it? Suddenly solutions come up like, oh, wait a minute. There's somebody I was talking to the other day that was thinking of buying this for me. I could give them a call. Oh, wait a minute. If I do this and this, that's going to create this much money, and then I can do this and I'll be able to afford this. And so it's just about getting your thought process in order. And so my challenge for you today is, the next time you think you have to choose either or, is to ask yourself, how can I do both? And how you get your mind in that mindset is, okay, I want to do both. Now, out of the two of them, which one's more important to me to do first? And so that I can, because when you know how to do something and you make it happen, you know how to do it. It is happening. It's no longer something you're trying to do, right? So which of these will I do first? Do that. And then, which is the one I want to do next? So that way, it's not a choice of either or. You're just making it logical. You're solving one problem at a time, but you're opening your mind. You're opening your awareness. You're training your subconscious mind. You're putting it out in the universe, in the ether, that you believe both can happen. And guess what? Both will happen. Anyways, I've got to sign off because I'm off to some training for myself today. One of my commitments to my clients and to all of you is to always be deepening and sharpening my skills. And so this is a 4-day intensive skills upgrading workshop. So I've got to get there, but I wanted to come to you guys today. I hope you have an awesome day, and we will see you on Tuesday. And we're going to be talking about the mindset of avoiding borrowed money for your business, because that's one that can also block your money flow. And it might be a little controversial. There goes my dog again, I'm sorry. But I think it's really going to help you too. So I'm looking forward to seeing you on Tuesday. Make sure, if you're not subscribed to Living Forward TV, to go there today, livingforwardtv.com. I'm just going to put that in the comments. We have a great episode coming out today. It's all about having sticky, awkward money conversations with clients, you know, when they're late on their bills or they don't honor an agreement or stuff like that. So I think it's one you're really going to enjoy, because I give you some solutions and I give you some scripts. So I hope you enjoy that, and we will catch you later. Bye, everybody.